and welcome back to Pin My Podfic. Today we're doing the reading of After the Fall by Innocent with only one N_reader. And this is chapter 4, part 1, When Victory Isn't Enough. Also, just saying, I have only read up to chapter 4, like part 4 around there, since I started, well, it's more like school started. So I haven't had enough more time to read and stuff. So yeah. Anyways, I don't remember when this will be posted. So yeah, when this is gonna be posted, I'm most probably gonna be in like my finals week and stuff. So yeah, now on to the chapter. Chapter 4: When Victory Isn't Enough. Part 1. The hum of the cave's systems filled the space with whirs and faint crackles, a constant whisper in the back of the mind. For Dick Grayson, it was just another reminder that everything they'd known was gone. Sitting at the edge of the medbay platform, elbows resting on his knees and head lowered, he looked far too small for the vast cavern around him. Wally wasn't far, leaning against one of the natural stone pillars, arms crossed, gaze fixed on the stretcher where the boy, Midoriya, lay unconscious, still wrapped in Robin's cape. The boy breathed steadily, yet didn't move, a jarring contrast to the fury with which he had fought. For long minutes, neither of them said a word. The constant hum of the Batcave systems blended, in Dick's mind, with another sound he would never forget. The sharp crackle of the drones transmitting that last mission. All it took was a blink, and he saw it again. Columns of light tearing the sky apart, incinerating Barry, Diana Clark, and Bruce. The image trembled, warped by the heat, before the screen went black. On the other side, Wally had been there too, seeing it all through the same cold, distant lens. No shouts, no goodbyes, just bursts of energy and the silence afterwards. Far too heavy to be real. It was the silence that now filled the cave. We did it, Dick murmured, more to himself than to Wally. His voice was swallowed by the cavern's vastness, muffled by its echoes. Wally let out a short, humorless laugh. Did what, Dick? He turns slowly to face him. They're all dead. Barry, Clark, Diana, even Bruce. The name caught in his throat, as if speaking it would cut deeper than it would heal. Dick didn't answer. He ran a hand over his face, covering his eyes for a second, fighting against the wave of emotion threatening to break him from the inside. I saw it, Wally went on, his voice cracking. I saw when Superman fell. I saw when the Flash. When my uncle. He shut his eyes tight, shoulders trembling with the effort of holding himself together. The whole world, he finished, but the words died there, swallowed by the void. Dick clenched his fist, nails almost digging into his palms. We did what we could, he said, with the hardness that didn't convince even himself. Wally let out another hollow laugh. Did we? Really? We're here, alive. But what about the rest? There's no one left. Not the team, not the league. He looked at Dick, his eyes damp. Maybe it's just us now. Wally turned away, pressing an arm again across his chest, as if holding something inside that threatened to break. He didn't cry. Not because he didn't want to, but because he feared that once he started, he wouldn't stop. Dick knew that kind of restraint well. The same one he used to keep himself from falling apart. They weren't just teammates. They were survivors of something no one their age should have gone through. In that moment, their pain didn't need words. It was enough to know that Despite everything, there was still someone there to stop the other from falling. I I don't know what to do, Wally, Dick admitted, his voice faltering for the first time. There, there's no one left to tell us what to do. Wally walked over and sat beside him, letting silence speak what words couldn't. For a moment, Dick lowered his head and allowed tears, silent tears, to run down his face. He didn't need to hide them. Not here, not now. We won, but it feels like we lost everything, he murmured. Wally nodded, too drained to disagree. The soft hum of the medbay machines reclaimed the room. Dick lifted his head, his gaze falling on Midoriya, the boy they barely knew, but who had saved their lives. He's not even from here, he said, almost absent-mindedly. Wally's eyes also went to the unconscious boy. That kid fought that monster alone. Dick nodded slowly, voice still low. And the monster, Shigaraki, or whatever it was, wasn't from this world either. He stood, as if something inside him had been lit. Walking to the main console, he began activating holographic panels. Flickering images filled the air. Explosions, corrupted data, fragments of comms from heroes already gone. Look at this kid, he said, pointing to the footage of Midoriya emerging from the portal mid-battle. Those abilities, that's nothing like anything we've seen. Wally frowned. You think it's multiverse? Dick shrugged. Maybe, or something bigger, but he's not from here. And he fought. He fought for a world that wasn't even his. And he won. For a moment, Dick's gaze drifted to a corner in the cave. Built into the stone, there was the old compartment where Bruce had kept the bat suit. Now, it was empty. The place where it had once hung was more than just an empty niche in the rock. It was a silent tomb, a mark that Bruce Wayne's era had ended. Shadows pooled there, and Dick had the feeling that if he reached out, he'd feel the cold of all those nights beside him, the training, the reprimands, even the rare moments of approval. It wasn't just absence. It was a constant reminder that no matter how hard he tried, he would never be that man. Dick walked over, brushing his fingers across the metal surface worn with time. The bat symbol was still there, gray and silent. He closed his eyes for a moment. You know what to do, even when I'm not there. Bruce said that once. Even on an ordinary night, without urgency, without drama, just the two of them on a rooftop, watching Gotham sleep. But Dick had never truly believed that they would come. He leaned his forehead against the cold wall beside the empty case, feeling the weight of a legacy pressing down on his shoulders. Far too young. I'm not him, Bruce, he whispered. I never was. A hand rested on his shoulder. It was Wally. And no one expected you to be, he said, gently. But if anyone can carry on, it's you, Dick. The boy took a deep breath, stepped back, and wiped his eyes. He turned towards the consoles again, his gaze falling once more on Midoriya. We owe him, and the world. Wally nodded, his voice now with a bit more resolve. We do. But it's not just on you, okay? He added, with a faint smile. If you're gonna dive into some crazy plan, call me, like always. Dick let out a small laugh. The first in days. Faint, but real. He stepped closer to the central table, fingers hovering over the controls. Let's figure out who he is, and what we do next. Wally walked to the medbay, looking down at the boy still asleep. Midoriya's destroyed suit, or what was left of it, lay folded on a table beside him. Scorched fabric, torn reinforced fibers, melted metal. Dick had carried it here, keeping every piece. It was what Bruce would have done. Maybe it was what a real hero would do. They both looked at Midoriya, and even without saying a word, they knew what had to be done. The world had ended, but as long as one still stood and breathed, it wasn't over. And that was the end of chapter 4, When Victory Isn't Enough, part 1, by innocent with one N underscore reader on AO3. As I always say, check them out. I almost cried rereading this. I almost cried in this thing, as you probably can tell from how I read, I'm pretty emotional. I don't know how I kept back the tears. Now I'm laughing from hysteria, great. Anyway, so what was I gonna say? Frick, I really need to start writing notes on what I read, or else I'm gonna forget what I'm gonna say. Yeah, just give me a sec. Oh yeah, now I remember. They called the Midoriya Kid, but if I remember, this is Young Justice Season 1, Robin, aka Dick Grayson, 13 years old. Midoriya is 16 at the end of, about the time when he fights Shigaraki, so, I think it's the other way around of who should be calling who a kid. So yeah, anyways, no critique here actually. It's just timeline and shit. So yeah, don't stress about it. I don't really care about the semantics. I'm just here to read. Anyway, so since last these couple weeks I haven't been able to be on the grind. So especially for this one, since I've been starting to podfic the other series, the other crossover that's Bakugo centered instead of Midoriya centered. So as well, you all know about that, since this is gonna be posted after I post those. And yeah, this is gonna, as you know, double upload too. I've been doing. I think I will be, because I'll be posting and about a couple of weeks, 1 or 2 weeks after I record this, there's gonna be a bit of a triple upload, because I'll be uploading this one of this series, one of I'll be wherever I want to, bitch, and one of the ones that won the poll that I posted. Wait, give me a sec. I need to see. I don't remember. Anyways, my memory shit. I don't know shit. So yeah, great shit. Give me a sec, real quick, and which one is winning? Oh, it's a 50-50 on. For now, it's a 50-50, and I'll be going off of the one that I've already finished reading. So yeah. Anyways, if you want any other fics that I should podfic, then leave them in the comments. And since for now at the time of this recording, I only have 24 subscribers. So yeah, my goal for now is to hit 100, and I'll maybe do a quick Q&A, or a video, or maybe a stream on a Friday of full on Q&A stuff or anything special. And of course, this is probably gonna be a constant hobby that I will be doing for a couple years now. So since I'm currently in high school, when I get into university, I will also be doing this. I don't know if I will what I'll be doing in the future, but all of it's math related. And update on myself, I'm currently studying for the math Olympiads. Yes, I'm top of my class in maths and anything technology related, number related. But I'm in. This is my hobby. So yeah, sorry for rambling on. And yeah, you can check out my other videos and stuff, and this author in the description, also link to the fic in the description and everything. And I hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, that's it. Please subscribe. I really want this to happen. So yeah, sorry for the long outro thingy, this thing. I know not a lot of podfickers do this, but if I remember Echo Rainstorm, which is like really one of my inspirations to do this type of outros, like commentary like outros. And so like yeah, also check the like just search up MHA or DC podfics, and you'll see a couple podfickers. Check them all out. I'm a very big fan of any podficker, really. Yeah, I should go and subscribe to. Go and find more podfickers. They all deserve the love and anything, everything. So yeah, bye.